Hey guys, welcome to Elisa Maria Designs. I'm Elisa Maria. Welcome back if you're back. Welcome if you are new. Happy to have you here. This is the Self-Care Sunday midnight edition. It's close to it. It's probably around 9 p.m. And I thought I'll just do it tomorrow. But it's also summer with the masters. And I have my desk up here and I have a stool up here and I could sit down and I will, hold on one second. Yep, there's my desk. I got a snack. I got a stool. I got my rig all set up and I figured even if I just sit here and diamond paint a little bit, or maybe I'll diamond paint and read, or maybe I'll read first and then diamond paint and give you my thoughts on the reading for today. But here she is. This is Night's Rest. Let's get started. So honestly, I don't even know where to start today, where, why Self-Care Sunday is going into the evening hours. But I do want to get started. So I have to get reacclimated to this canvas. I've not had this canvas out since last year. I finished Summer with the Masters. I didn't finish her. And I got a lot done. And I put her away, and I'm starting to remember as I look at these drills that are mixed up in here that maybe I stopped for a reason. You know, when you're working on a canvas for so long that you're kind of like mixing drills together. So look at this lovely thing is waiting for me. That's waiting. Let's get reclaimed. Oh, do I have I don't even have a I don't have a tray. Oh my gosh. 1 second. Firefly. Here we go. We'll get reacquainted together. So I think I'm going to start here. Oh, we're still super sticky too. Oh boy, so this is freezing here in Philly. Yesterday, did we go out? I can't remember. I can't remember. The days are just blending one into another. And, oh no, John went out. He had a gig. He went out. I can't see these stupid contacts in that I have to wear glasses with. And so, you see what I just did? I just pulled my contacts out of my eyes because I can't see. I have an eye doctor appointment on Tuesday, and he's got to give me some answers as to, you know, they're bifocals. You're supposed to be able to see near and far. And if I go into a restaurant, I can't see a darn thing in front of me. So, what happened? Oh, John came in last night, and he said it's so humid. It is so humid outside. We need to put the air on in here. I hear him outside the door because, you know, he's about to ask me, are you filming? When I told him I was. And he came in from practice and he was saying that, he said, he said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put the air on. But I was like chilly. So I know where everything is. I just don't have everything out because, you know, my desk is now upstairs in my art room. When John said, you know, your desk would fit up there, I'm like, no, it won't. There's no way. I'm not going to be able to open up the cabinet door. He's like, yes, you will. He went upstairs and measured it. He's like, yes, you will. So, he was right. Don't tell him I said so. And I was freezing when he came in, and he's like, well, you know, we're going to have to put the air conditioner on. He's like, it's so humid, and he's coming in, you know, he's carrying in band equipment and all that other stuff. And I'm like, okay. And so my door was closed. My French doors were closed to my bedroom, which they're always open. And I am always, you know, sometimes I'm up, I get up and I take a look through the doors. I take a look to see what's going on and who's where and blah, blah. And of course, the doors were closed. And I seen all these alerts on my Ring doorbell. And when I looked, it had only happened 20 minutes ago. This kid was being attacked. He was being jumped. And I actually know whose child it is. I have just been sick to my stomach all day. All day. His friends came around. I heard them outside talking. You know, to turn your Ring doorbell on and witness this. And then I ran to go look at the window. I'm like, oh my God, this was 20 minutes ago. And I didn't hear anything because the air conditioner was on. But I was like, oh, this is so disturbing. Like, and anymore with these kids, they're so loud when they come down the street that you don't know. Are they playing around? Are they horsing around? And the girls are worse than the boys. I'm sorry, but they just are. The girls are worse than the boys. And so these kids came around today, and I'm cleaning the foyer, and I hear them talking about what happened. And I said, were you out here last night? He's like, no, my friend, he got hurt. He said, and the guys that hurt him are older. They were like 27 years old. He's only 15 because it was early. It was like 10 o'clock at night. Yes, I was in bed Saturday night at 10 o'clock and I still couldn't go to sleep. And I said, I have the video because he threw, whoever attacked him threw him into my car. He literally grabbed him by his jacket and threw him into my car. I was like, oh, there goes John's camera. Not that was important, but that was the first thing, or the windshield wiper. Or I figured something was going to be broke, and I didn't want to wake him up because, again, this had happened 20 minutes ago. So he tells me who it is, and I was like, I know his father. He's like, his father's in Florida. So we know the whole family. In fact, we were just with them in Florida. So I'm like, I'm sick over this. And then I had the contractors here and, other problems with the neighbor next door, which is why, listen, I don't know, is it why I got the fence? Partially. I like having my privacy. I know the backs are all open and it looks really nice back here, but sometimes you just get into a situation where it's like, I'm not going to apologize because I want privacy. These people have been intruding on our privacy for a while, and John and I are like big tent people. We always welcome people in, but then there comes a point where you just cross the line, and we were done by that point. So, you don't want animosity with your neighbors. You have to live next door to one another. And, it's not that I don't like them. I do. But this is just, just one of those things, So, but then she decided to start up today. And I told John, I said, this is going to all start up when the work is done. He's like, no, I don't think so. I was like, okay. But I think I'm a better judgment of people's, I think because I'm a good listener, and I think because I, listen when people talk, I watch the way that they, body movement and stuff like that. I actually got offered a job once in a police department. This is when I was still in college, and I didn't know what form of psychology I wanted to study. And they kind of thought that I would be really good in that department. And I was like, I don't think so. I was already 1 foot at the door with this psychology because I tend to romanticize things. And people have real problems. Not that I didn't want to help, but I didn't know if I would have been able to handle emotionally and mentally things that I was hearing. So I was like, I think I'm going to do something else with my life. Like self-care Sundays on a diamond painting channel. You never know. You never know. It was the best advice I had gotten from one of my mentors. She said, do everything that piques your interest, because one day everything is going to come together. Everything is going to come full circle. And she was right. Because I pull a little bit of every experience I've had in my life into my diamond painting. I did a video a couple days ago about my first summer with the Masters and how I even fell into it because I didn't think that I was ready. And it happened to be a sale at Michael's, and they had diamond dots there. Like, I think they were making room for make market, and so they were getting rid of all the diamond dots that they had. And I said, I know that this canvas is like 75, 80 bucks, and it was on sale for 20, and I had a $5 coupon, and they took it. I got that gorgeous canvas for for $15. I don't even know if I put the other video up that I made for Diamond Art Club's anniversary. I made a video on my first Diamond Art Club canvas, because that canvas and that title and that thumbnail all need to be revamped. You know, it's one of my best watched videos, and it's one of my best watched videos, I think, because I was just levitating when I got my first Diamond Art Club to unbox. And, but there are things in the thumbnail, like, it's just my face, and it's just like, oh, you know, my mouth is open, I'm so excited. And I really was, because the thumbnail is actually a clip from the unboxing. I just was blown away from the Winter Fox that I had ordered. But then I was like, you know, if Summer with the Masters really prepped me for wanting to say, I'm ready for Diamond Art Club canvas. I'm ready. And here they are. There's like a 7-year anniversary on Saturday, and then Sunday is going to be the kickoff to the 2025 Summer with the Masters. And I was like, I want to do something for both those two really big diamond painting events that really told me a lot about myself and what kind of diamond painter I am and what I'm interested in. And from Summer with the Masters, the master classes were born, where I just didn't want to open a box and start diamond painting. I wanted to know about the artist, know about the painting, and you know, Van Gogh. I fell into some kind of, like Alice, you know, I just fell down the rabbit hole with that one. And I just was like, I'll tell the story when I show you the piece of artwork that I did for my first Summer with the Masters. But really, my Diamond Art Club one, I want to revamp that too. And I was so green is the only word for it, because I didn't know how to edit, and so everything had to be done in like one shot. And some spots are grainy, and oh God. But it got a lot of traction, that video, because like I said, I think it was just me being so exuberant and happy. Like, I'm just so happy that, you know, I was getting a big girl painting. No more Temu for me. I just did a diamond dots. I think we all started Temu. Or AliExpress. I never ordered from AliExpress, because I did notice that there was a lot, like as soon as you go on, you know that it's a lot of licensed artwork. Not through diamond painting, because I didn't know anything about diamond painting, through other people's work. I was like, I don't know about this site here. I think this might be a problem. So, yeah, feels good to finally sit down and diamond paint. You know, the guys in the back, John did his reading, and he's actually in bed right now, catching up on chapter 3. I was like, you don't want to do another taping, do you? Because I knew I had to do this. And he's like, no, I just want to read the next chapter. So I know as members, you're going to be getting hit with the chapters being dropped very quickly. And I made a boo-boo. I don't even know what made me go back and look at... Oh, I know what it was. I said, you know, I have video that goes up for my members, and then what I'm doing is when it goes up into the public, I'm taking out our discussions and I'm uploading the video, but then we're losing the discussions that we had because it's the same video. I said, I don't really think that I should do that. I think I'm going to have to upload one for the members, upload one for the subscribers, and it's just going to have to sit and wait in to be uploaded next Sunday. And I went back and I was like, okay, we'll have to take this section out. And when I went to go look, I was like, oh my God, the banner, the graphic was never taken down. So the whole time I'm talking to you guys, my members, there's a graphic across my face. And I was like, oh no, I got to take this out. And I had to go back and I had to grab that part of the video. I had to put that back up for you guys so you don't have to be looking at this with a, you know, a banner, like a graphic across my face that says Jaws on it. So, what else did I talk about? The weekend, and, you know, without getting into too much because that's what I go into with my members, but I did do an auction. I got caught up with Ditsy's Diamond Painting Den or something like that, I think it's called. And I did get caught up in the 50 DAC canvases that were being released. And I guess because I signed up for Mermaids and Magic, I'm on Rich's list. And I was like, wait a minute, these girls were just with Ditsy. Like, what's going on? So everybody's like connected. And I never did an auction before. That was fun. I know a lot of Christopher Lovell. I know that there were so many people that love his work. I said if 9 Lives comes up, I'm going to bid on 9 Lives. One of my members got 2 of his paintings. I know that, you know, he's a cherished diamond painter. People love his work. I can't remember what his most famous work is. I know it's something big. And, you know, I know the guy diamond painters really love and people like it put off because it's like shades of gray. I love gray is like one of my favorite. Well, every color is like my favorite color. Who am I kidding? But I really like the work. I've seen one of the renderings. It might have been Anthony from Single and Placing. I know he loves his. Oh yeah, it was Fauna. I think he did Fauna, and she was very pretty. You know, once it's done. And that's what I love about these paintings. Even I was looking at Lizette, and she was showing one today to her members. I'm not going to say which one it is because, you know. And I was like, oh my God, she's got the best eye. Like, that painting is gorgeous. Hello, Lizette. She was laughing at my girl math, but you were doing some of your own, Missy. You were doing some girl math of your own today on your member section. Oh, let me tell you, I could work numbers. I could work numbers. Where am I going here? So, I'm going to have to raise this. I love that my desk is up here. I cannot believe that it's up here. I can't believe it because it's been sitting downstairs and it hasn't been used. Do you have a hole in you? Yes, you do. And, here's where I start out with the tweezers. Yeah, so that little auction was fun. Then it was like a reverse auction where they start high and then they end low, which is a chance that you take because yours, whatever it is that you may want, might get sold out. So, you know, you have to take a chance. If you're waiting for a better price than one that was given to you, then, you know, you might just lose that diamond. I think it was the pens. Everybody was going nuts for the pens. And, yeah. And then I went over to Chris this morning from the diamond painting brush because he's got a round brush now. And I had to have one. And so that's what I did as soon as I got up this morning. I was like, I'm buying this, and I'm buying this, and I'm buying this, and this. So you guys will be seeing that once it gets here. What else? I have 4 diamond paintings I have to unbox. You guys will be seeing that this week. Now I got a big table, and I can, get my big diamond paintings. I did go through all my diamond paintings that were in the corner. They're no longer in the corner. Rico only has a little part of his chest that needs to be done, and I think I might have to order diamond drills for that. I think that's why I stopped painting him. You know what it is? It's like every diamond painting that I have anymore has got, drills missing. Even the little one that I did last night from Diamond Art Club, I got it from the Amazon section, Diamond Art Club's Amazon store. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is a small little canvas. And I kitted that up in Florida, so I know all the drills were in there because it was a small kit. And yep, I have drills missing. I'm like, it's like I have these unfinished diamond paintings because of one drill. It's so frustrating. Very pretty. Oops, I didn't mean to be leaning on you. I meant to bring up my little sticky pad. I've been using my sticky pad a lot. Last night I was painting when I was listening to the silent auction. I was diamond painting the little Yorkie coffee diamond painting, and I was using my sticky pad because I have that little desk that I got from Temu, and I can actually tilt it towards me, which was very comfortable, the diamond paint. And I was I had my sticky mat on there. So that section is done. Any other X's? Any more? I can move this a little bit closer to me. I actually have my light on underneath here, and I didn't bother to plug it in. This is the other great thing. Oh, you get to lift the desk up and away. I should stop and read this. Let's see what today's about. Then this way I could, mull it over while I'm diamond painting and see what are we going to be talking about. What's going on? Here we go. June 1st. Oh, this poor book. June 1st. And see, like, if I miss these days, I don't go back and read them. I just feel like they weren't meant for me to read now. And you'll know if I read something. There's usually there's some kind of mark. So it looks like I never read this either through the years. I've been carrying this book around with me for 10 years now. June 1st, walking north. Walk long enough and we all trade places. We are always surrounded and carried by the whole. While we take turns holding and being held, falling and getting up, listening and trying to say what matters. This reminds me of Nur. She too had cancer and was a model of strength, a feisty blessing. I remember when she died. I was so sad, yet the light was merciless in its beauty that day, forcing me to begin to heal. It made me realize in those painfully bright hours that no matter how I may turn away, the magnificent light follows, background to my sadness. It works the other way too. I have known such moments of complete simplicity that all my problems and limitations seemed, for the moment, to vanish. But they were there, growing like mold in the dark, So I learned that no matter how I lift my heart, my shadow creeps in weight behind, background to my joy. I've been doing this thing with John, with his reading, that reading of Joel's that he's doing. And there's a question I just said to him tonight. Is there a line or a passage that stuck out to you in this chapter that you were reading? And I think, right here, I can complete simplicity, that all my problems seem for the moment to vanish, but they were there. I mean, I've had so many moments like that where I am in, whatever space that I'm in, and maybe I got away from something for a brief moment of time, but and you it's the yin and the yang, right? It's the bitter and the sweet. It's the joy that you're feeling at the moment, but also the pain that you're feeling because something else, like a shadow, it's always there. Just, the background to your joy. And when I tried to outrun the fact that I had cancer, it became quite clear that no matter how fast I run, a stillness without thought is where I end. Even when repairing in the quiet of a February afternoon, alone, my ribs all taped, I had to accept that no matter how long I sit, there is a river of motion I must rejoin. So easy to run and hide when you don't feel well, whether it's a physical break, an emotional break, a mental break, a spiritual break. It's that feeling of just like you don't even know where to begin. It's like you can't even tap it to say like, okay, I understand that, I'm going through something emotional, but you sometimes can't even catch your breath to say, I got to process this. I got to get back to, sometimes you have no choice. You have to get back to work. You have to get back. You have to get your head on straight. You got, kids to take care of, a job. It's so unbelievably hard and isolating because sometimes you can't even talk to people because, with me, I know it's my throat chakra that shuts down. And I call the throat the bridge, right? You have your throat, your neck, it's a bridge. And what is in between is the heart and the head. And they're in constant battle with each other. And then the words get stuck in the throat. Should I say it? Should I be quiet? Should I not say it? Right. Right. I just heard a quote where, something said is not something that you can take back, but a writing is something that nobody has to see. I have to look up that quote. It seems the way of our many lives. Wherever we are led, the opposite waits. When I am down, you are up. When you are weak, I am strong. How else to explain that when I can't hold my head up, it always falls in the lap of one who has just opened? How else to understand that when I finally free myself of burden, there is always someone's heavy head landing in my arms? It's how we grow and heal again and again, by holding, being held. In my own life, I have been held and dropped, have hurt and soothed others, enough to accept at last that the reasons of the heart are leaves in the wind. Stand up tall, and everything will nest in you. Yet, this is not a complaint. It is as it should be, must be, the way everything natural extends and grows. We all lose and we all gain. Dark crowds the light, light fills the pain. Living is a conversation with no end, a dance with no steps, a song with no words, a reason too big for any mind. No matter how we turn or are turned, the magnificent follows. magnificence follows. This is a walking meditation, which is great for you guys. You could put your headphones on, your little earbuds, and go out and take a walk. Take 15 minutes during your day and silently walk wherever you are, in the city, in the country, in the parking lot, down the long hall to the one window of light. Breathe evenly as you step, feeling your breath in your feet. Feeling your breath in your feet. It always amazes me that you can direct the breath where you want it to go, and you can feel your breath in your feet. Feel the air that others unknown to you have already breathed. Footsteps of Manhattan. Well, I know what that note is about. And that comes from The Artist Way. I was walking in Manhattan, and I don't know, I was like in a really funky mood. I felt like my moods were changing very quickly, and I wondered to myself, whose footsteps am I walking on? How many dreams are made here? How many dreams are shattered here? And whose footsteps am I walking on? And feel the air that others unknown to you have already inhaled. Stop in a patch of light, no matter how small. Close your eyes, feel the light on your face, and say to yourself, this is my home. So that is June 1st reading. I'm going to sit and marinate with that for a while. The whole time I was reading that, I was just thinking of a pendulum swinging. Nobody ever gets it right. Nobody ever gets it wrong. Nobody ever always wins. Nobody ever always loses. You know? And I think that that's why. Did you ever have a moment where you're laughing until your ribs hurt? And what do we say? Laugh until we cry, right? But did you ever catch yourself being so in the moment of joy, and for a moment that feeling of dread comes over you? It's like a window opening and closing really quickly. You realize how happy you can be in a moment, but you also know there is I think when you live a life of awareness, that you just know, everything can turn on a dime. Or maybe it's that lingering feeling of, God, I'm laughing now. I didn't think I'd be able to. But my heart is still broken. What did Nepo call it? Life, what did he call it? I have been held and dropped, have hurt and soothed others, enough to accept at last that the reasons of the heart are leaves in the wind. Whew. I guess you can take from this reading that, this too shall pass, or enjoy your joy. Make your joy. Be open to all the possibilities that a day can bring. I mean, I just think of the past 24 hours, how many emotions I have gone through today. And I have to say again, I know that we brought this up with the dose, taking dose. Like, my neighbor came out today and she had something to say. And my contractor was just like, no, you're wrong. Here's the measurement, And, John wasn't bothered at first. But then like later on the day, he's like, can you believe she came out? And I'm like, I just don't feel as bothered as I used to. And I think that it's the L-theanine in the in the dose that's in there. I just don't, I'm just like, or I'm just very centered. Maybe this is just a very centered time in my life where I am not going to allow people to knock me off my center. And I think that that's what you do. I think we had this discussion a couple weeks ago where, especially when someone says something to you and you're kind of like, what? Like how long have you been holding that in? Or they say something to be deliberately mean and that they know that it's going to hurt you. Maybe you're the sensitive. We're so easy. I think if you're here and you're listening to Self-Care Sunday, that you're a sensitive type, and it's so easy to wound us, and it's so easy for people to get their pound of flesh. Like, oh, I can get some relief here because it's going to really hurt when I say this or that. They have that moment of like, and believe me, it's a moment where they feel like, really good, and then it's just like they're on to the next victim. But they have the capacity, if you're not centered enough, to knock you off your game, and you can carry that around with you. I think I was reading something else from Nepo. Was it this one? I don't think it was. Where he was talking about like, oh, here it is. I read it real quick because it was underlined on the next page. Tragedy stays alive by feeling what's been done to us, while peace comes alive by living with the result. That's not the one I underlined. What did he say here? When I focus on the rake of experience and how it lingers. Wait, I gotta get it in front of me. Took the contacts out. I'm trying to read across the room. Okay. This is what when I was reading this, I caught this really. We insist on keeping all wounds alive is our curse. I'm learning, the difference I'm learning is in what we focus on. When I focus on the rake of experiences and how its fingers dug into me and the many feet that have walked over me, there is no end to the life of my pain. But when I focus on the soil of my heart and how it has been turned over, there is no end to the mix of feelings that defy my want to name them. So that one's called Tragedy and Peace. I'm trying to think of where Nepo is going with this month, because June 1st. Yeah, see, there's like a blank page. And he's going into June. And I'm wondering where he is going. Yeah, throughout all the 10 regions of the universe, there's no place where the source is not. So he was just telling you about, the light is always there. The light and the dark. Can't have one without the other. And there's that daily siren in the background. You guys must think I live in a war zone. But that was very frightening last night. When Nepo was talking about, Nepo. I actually was watching something of his, and he introduced himself as Mark Nepo. Even though he lost his friend, and he was talking about like how beautiful the day was. The magnificence always awaits for you. And it's really hard to do. Oh, when you lose someone and it's like, you know, the sun has no business shining right now. When I read readings like this, I'm thinking to myself as I'm placing drills down. You know, he talked about the light and the dark in situations. But what about the light and the dark that we live with every day, like in our own mind? You know, sometimes it's, oh gosh. So, I don't want to say difficult. I feel like that's a word that people throw around a lot. It's not that it's difficult because, like he said, that's the way that it is. This is the way that it is right now. It's exhausting, I think. Is that the word that I want? Like he said, as soon as, you know, I get to where I'm going, there's somebody now that needs my help. And you could look at it like, I've seen people that are, you know, always trying to catch their breath. There's a lot going on and they're just trying to like give me a break, and as soon as they catch their breath, something else is happening. I don't think that that's a circumstance or something that can't be controlled. I think that that's something that you have to sit with yourself. And figure out, is this something that I could change in my life and like get off this merry-go-round? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because it's a learned behavior a lot of the time. You know, people get assigned their roles. And, you know, God forbid, should you not be the one that does this or that? You know. But even like today, like we're doing the yard. And the poles need to be cut because they put the poles in to build the fence. And I said, I don't know, do they really need to be cut? And John's like, what are you talking about? You guys got to put the caps on top. I said, yeah, but, you know, can we put something else there? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. Can we, like, build an awning? And so my guy perks up. He's like, yeah. He's like, all I have to do is drop 2x4s in there, and you're good because you got, like, 3 feet of cement going down into these poles. And I was like, oh, okay, let's do it. John's like, do what? I'm like, I want to put an awning up. And he's like, oh, yeah, it'll be easy. I'll just put the brackets over here, and you can drape your awning across and be really nice in the summertime. And I'm like, let's do it. John's like, what? I'm like, listen, I got one life to live, and I'm living my dream. Waited a long time to dream, and like, that's what I want. And he's like, all right, just talk to my wife. Let her, you two work it out. You know?
I'm like, it's going to be so nice when we put the fire pit in and we put the furniture all around and we have this high kind of awning type tent that's going to go over us. It's going to be really cool. Yeah, I guess I think I probably would have gotten more out of this reading if I did it as a walking meditation. I don't know if I'm going to end this here or decide to do the walking meditation in the morning and then put this up, or maybe I'll end this here and I will still go into the walking meditation in the morning and see if my brain actually feels differently about, not differently, but has something more to offer to this reading. I just can't have another sleepless night. I just have those nights where I got up and I was like, you know what? I know what kind of night this is going to be. And I can't really engage with people and start talking because it will never end. You know, I'm still hoping that I had some control over, like, just go to sleep. Just go drink the tart cherry juice. And, you know, that's like a natural melatonin. And go to sleep. But we're both off our schedules. John and I both. We're both off our schedules because he hasn't been going to the gym. And, you know, that throws me, you know, he's got his things that he wants to do, and I got my things that I want to do, and it was so nice that he was out of the house for a little while, and he was, you know, got together with a few of his friends, and they got together to jam at a studio. So, I got some time, he got some time. And really, I took out the Yorkie painting, and I was like, I think I'm going to be okay with this. Yeah. But the both of us have just been like, oh, so off, you know, our normals. Well, I can't even say normal schedules because really. Gonna need some putty in here. I am so happy to have this canvas back out. You have no idea. Get another little piece of it done. It's really not, you know, confetti heavy or anything like that. It's beautiful design, beautiful border. Diamond Painting Shop did a marvelous job on this. I think they do a marvelous job on all their mukas. I have a muka by Diamond Art Club, and it's short, and I just don't think that it lends to the whole muka vibe because it's short. Kind of cuts off the flow. In his work, having a smaller version of it, I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. I like having it, the bigger one. And I had an idea for her, and it has not left me. But I got to get it together. I didn't diamond paint either. I didn't diamond paint Daydreamer today. I actually was sitting behind John, and I just looked like an annoyance, and so I had to, like, mask myself out of the scene. I'm like, why did I want to sit behind my husband? Why was I doing that? And I think because I was using the desk behind him and to write. And I was writing down questions that I wanted to ask him about the reading. He's in there reading, and I guarantee you he's already past episode. He's already done with chapter 3. Chapter 3, I looked at it. It's like about 20 pages. Chapter 3. He's really enjoying reading the book. Again. Because John is an avid reader. That's not the right color. It's a different color. What did you get in there? I am enjoying all your comments on the reading. I think the consensus is in that most people didn't realize that it was as graphic. You kind of think you're going to be, because I said it in the first chat, being that it's public and it's now, my members get it first, but the chapter 1 is public, and I kept saying I don't want to compare the book to the movie because it's two different things. But you can't help it if you saw the movie and now you're listening to the book being read to you. You can't help but not think of the movie. You just can't. It's like you remember scenes in your head. And get you out of there. I didn't realize either how graphic the book was. So you guys were saying that you like John's reading. I can't wait for John to get to characters, because he's going to be off the chain when he does start doing characters. I like the tone and the mood of the second chapter. It's totally different than the first chapter. I was listening to this one girl read. I was enjoying her too. And then, I don't know, she started fighting with this British royal who wrote a book. And then the British royal was going after her. That she was basically this young little snot nose that didn't know a thing. And like she was like the authority on the world. I was like, oh, I don't need all this. Bye. I was really enjoying your show until this all started. And it's that easy too, like to get, where you just don't want to be bothered with a channel now when, some kind of drama happens. It's just like, oh, see ya. You guys fight it out, I just, and then I think what turned me off, it was not that she had a problem, because sometimes you can't help it, but it's like, oh, this is the kind of controversy that, gets my channel noticed, and, people like that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's like, oh, gosh. I realized I had a few more up here. That sounded like a jet plane turning on right now. And that is my neighbor's compressor. And you believe that I am upstairs on the second floor with the windows closed, and I can't even imagine that you would want the air conditioner on today. I am freezing. It's like putting the air conditioner on in the winter. It feels like fall outside right now. I feel like I should be apple picking and baking pies. This is the weirdest, strangest weather ever. I mean, we're in June now, people. Foofy's tired of hearing me. I should really do a Foofy point of view for the second chapter. I really should. Maybe I'll do it when the members chapter drops. Not the member, the the public chapter. I don't know. I'll see. If I can't sleep tonight, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be making Foofy have speeches on my channel. He's really funny though. And he was actually sitting next to me listening to John read. So he likes when John reads. I wanted to tell you guys, I usually tell you guys what I'm doing, I found a really good show yesterday on Prime, and I just found another one too on Prime. One is called The Better Sister with Jessica Biel. I actually like Jessica Biel a lot. Very good. Elizabeth Banks is in it also. And this one I started to watch today when my son came over. We were eating and we were just, chilling out. And it's really cute. It's called Wild Card. And it's really, 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 really cute. It's about a criminal and a cop teaming up together to solve cases. It's cute. It's really cute. And she's very entertaining and funny. And, there's, the tension there between the two of them because they're two very good-looking people. You know how the story goes. Here we go. This is going to be closing up soon. There we have it. A little bit more of night's rest being done. I got my summer with the master. Let's take this off of here. Ugh. I love having a big desk. I'll leave my book out for me to start as soon as I get up in the morning. I see some more of this symbol here that I gotta fill in. Let's put this here. I think this is broke. Oh no, it's not. It's actually good. There we go. Put that in there. You here. And there she is in all her beauty. Let me see if I can pick up this end here. Oh yeah. These flowers are all ABs. You can't see them. These are all ABs. Isn't that gorgeous? And I love the moon in the background. I love that she's sitting by this window pane. So this will be done. If I can't go to sleep, I'll come back in. I have my little fox. She had to come down off the wall, so she's underneath here. And I did get Camilla de Rico's. I did get a Camilla de Rico during the Diamond Art Club anniversary sale. I just love this painting. Oh my gosh, I love her. Square, 74 colors. Can you believe it? 74 colors, and she had one fairy dust and three ABs and one fairy dust. That was it. So cute, that little face. So adorable. Love her. So she's got to go back up on my wall. I feel like I've been cutting off the borders, and maybe that's not such a good idea that I do that. So I've been leaving them on. Are you a hole in there? So there's something on you. And then I have out the medium. Everything is on this desk. The medium that I'm going to be using to fix the painting that I have on the wall already. My angel. I have to do it very fast because it looks obscene. And that's going to get fixed. I'm going to embellish those drills. Going to make it look more silverish and shinier. And this has been something that I wanted to work on. That I know that diamond painters are getting very specific right now about where they want their embellishments to be, and sometimes it doesn't make sense when you are, it's like, okay, like
I always use Lizette's example because she had a perfect one where she had said, I think it was Cozy Cabin, and she's like, I get the snow on the top of the mountain, and I get that the light is hitting it, and it's beautiful, but I don't get all the drills that are down below, you know, below the mountain, like where the shade would be, and that there wouldn't be this, like, there's not this burst of sun that's hitting this, and this, you know, reflection of drills that needs to be on that. And I was like, she's absolutely right. And God bless her, she took them all off and put just the regular 5200s in, regular white drills. But what about in the reverse, where you feel as though, and again, I'm going to use Lizette because she just put up her J wall, and she's like, I don't get it. Like, why are there ABs up here in like the border, but they're not in her hair? They're not in this crown that she's wearing. Like, there's this big, beautiful confetti jewel. Like, why were these not all ABs? Maybe that's why, because it was a confetti kind of a thing. But come on, they, you know, they could have had, you know, some, or maybe like a special jewel to put in there. I probably would rip them all out, Lizette, and I would go over to DP with sparklers and find a big stone, or go get a brooch in your jewelry. You know, I mean, we're all looking to, like, you know, reuse things that we have and all. What was I seeing somebody? Oh, really smart idea. You know, when you like lose an earring and you're like, oh God, I love this earring, but it's lost. This girl used it as the one earring. She used it and she tied it, or tied it on ribbon, and she put it on people's glasses for, like, when she's having a party, like, you're the pearl earring and you're the missing, you know, gemstone out of this one or whatever. That was really cute. And I saw her use brooches. I'm trying to think of what she used her brooches for. I'll have to, when I remember, I'll let you guys know. Maybe we'll do it either during a Tip Tuesday or a Wednesday whip and tip. Because I have a good tip. My members got it already. They got it today. It was like, is this so simple that it's absolutely stupid that nobody else has thought of this? And it was one of my subscribers that said, here's what I do. And I said, I'm going to go back in my, I'm going to go back. I'm going to make a list. You guys had some really good tips. And I'm going to use that during either Tip Tuesday or Whip and Tip on a Wednesday. That's it for me. Finally. And if I don't go to sleep, I mean, I just don't understand. Maybe I've broken some kind of code where you just don't have to sleep and you just can continue to create and create and create. But I think I got about 4 hours sleep, and it was a very full day, especially with the whole Goomedia, Donna, the whole Goomedia with the Ring doorbell, and it very, very upsetting, extremely upsetting. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Should we unbox, or should we do? Well, my members heard from me like for 40 minutes today, so I don't think that they need a member Monday. I know you love me and you want me, but I'll give you guys a rest. Because Tuesday I'm going to the eye doctor, and what they're going to do is, like, you see your little tear ducts? See those little tear ducts where you make tears? Or I should tell my mother. She's actually found my channel. Did you hear that story? Okay. So my mother says to me, am I talking to you guys with stuff on my face? My mother says to me, I'm like looking at YouTube, and I see this girl, and I'm on the phone with her now. I know where she's going. She's like, I see this girl, and she looks just like you. Now, we went through this when I was younger, where she kept telling me that there was a crossing guard that looked just like me. That, you know, you have to go to this neighborhood. I'm like, I gotta go to work. What neighborhood? Gotta go to work. And this girl's your double. We'll tell her to come and look for me. So she's like, and I'm looking at this girl, and she's like, oh my God, she's a double for my daughter. And then she says, and her name's Elisa Maria, like you. And Maria's my middle name. Well, Maria is actually my birth name, because Elisa is a Jewish name, and they would not baptize me Elisa. So I was baptized Maria, but I go by Elisa from my parents. And so my mother found my videos now. Not even know why I have to go back. I have to go refer to the tape, because I don't know where the hell I'm telling you guys this. But yeah, so my mother found the tape. Why am I telling you guys this? I gotta stop this. I gotta find out. So when I went back to look at the video, As soon as I saw the mascara under my eyes, I was like, oh, I know what I was talking about. I have to tell my mother that on Tuesday, I'm going and they're going to put, like, right in your tear ducts where you make the tears, they put this little, looks like I would imagine, it's no bigger than a grain of pepper. And they put them in your eyes. They're plugs. And I was really scared the first time I had it done. But he's excellent, my doctor, Dr. Landrum. If you're in South Philly, Dr. Landrum. And he puts them in, and what they do is, believe it or not, this like little speck of like dust that he's putting in my eye, they expand, and what they do is they hold the fluid, because they're like little sponges, and they hold the fluid in your eyes. And so the next morning I got up, I was like, my eyes were so juicy, because you guys know that I did the mask, you know, you put it in the microwave and you put it on, and you know, my eyes have been so good for the past couple of months. And when I went for my eye exam, he's like, no, your eyes you have a lot of moisture in them, you're okay. It was like right out into the universe. Right after that, because you can't get in to see him, my eyes just dry up. So I'm going to tell him, listen, I don't care if I have moisture in my eyes in 3 months, you're going to do it again, because I'm not going through this again. You get that feeling of like bottle caps and scratchiness and stuff in your eye. And so that's what I'm going to be doing Tuesday. So I think Monday I'll do an unboxing. What the heck is in there? Do I want to take out the big one? I'm going to take out the one that, I'm going to open the ones from Yvonne, because she said there's a surprise in there, and I don't know what it is, and so I need a surprise. I'm going to do that one, and I'm going to eat my orange, because that's what I was doing. As soon as I went to go look at the video, I was like, oh, I need an orange. My throat is so dry. Okay. It's a Sicilian thing. Yeah, so I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll unbox and we'll talk. Get your coffee. Bye. Very long day. Long day.